Hi. After spending a weekend with each of my three grandkids, I was reminded of a piece I wrote last summer detailing the challenges grandparents and even parents have communicating with the younger generation. Feels like a good time to revisit that piece. I call it Gizmo. For years now, I've been picking up one set of grandchildren or the other from school a few times a week and staying with them until their respective mothers got home. Early on in kindergarten, first grade, second, and third, they were happy to see me and chatted away about their school day. Then they started getting devices: an iPhone, something called the Nintendo Switch, and yet another something called a Gizmo Watch, which allows my grandson Joaquin to communicate with selected adults. I made the cut on that one, and lets his mother Kate track his location. Joaquin is 9, Kate is sweetly protective. This particular Friday, I picked up my other grandson, Jack, from one school and hightailed it over to another to get his sister, Charlotte. Their mother, Claire, was going out with friends after work. So I was taking the kids to dinner, then home, where I'd stay with them until Claire returned. Jack is 9, Charlotte is 13. Immediately, Jack was on his Nintendo Switch, and Charlotte was texting her friends, the friends she left just 2 minutes before. I tried making conversation, but it went nowhere. I was tempted to play hardball and order them to put the devices down, but I didn't. They'd been cooped up in school for over 7 hours, listening to adults, doing schoolwork. The devices were their equivalent of an after-work martini. Besides, I wasn't going to allow the devices into the restaurant anyway. Part of me also thought back to when my daughters were their ages, sitting in the back seat of the car and fighting. I used to pray for 5 minutes of therapeutic silence, a line I lifted from the play One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now I wonder, where were those devices when I needed them? Still, I was undaunted. I tried again. I thought we'd go to Applebee's for dinner tonight. That's fine, they said in unison. Then Jack added, with his head still down and his fingers flying across the controls, "Why are we going out for dinner?" "Because your mom is going out with friends and I'm babysitting." "We are not babies," said Charlotte. Well, I didn't need to hear the indignity in her voice to know she was right. I began to what I should call this scenario. Was I the RAC, the responsible adult in charge? The CEO of Snacks and Screen Time? The interim life coach and screen time negotiator? Or was I just the oldest and biggest in the room, so I was in charge by default? I decided to leave it up to them. You're right, Charlotte. You're not babies. So what would you prefer I say? Just say we're hanging out. I turned to Jack. Jack, are you okay with that? Jack? Jack! But of course there was no response. Jack had his head deep in a game called Minecraft, which he has explained to me countless times, and which I still do not understand. But he was quiet. There was no fighting between siblings. So while they enjoyed their metaphorical martinis, I enjoyed my 5 minutes of therapeutic silence. Have a great day.